Hello and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Theta network. I'll share some charts as I walk around out here in the woods, pop them up on the screen and show you guys what I think is going to happen for this coin. I've also got this cat. My cat is following me everywhere I go, so be prepared for some meows as we walk around through the woods here. Now, Theta network is looking really good. We're starting to double bottom up off of our horizontal support level, which I'll show you right here. And as you can see, we're bouncing up off of that horizontal support level with a lot of strength and confidence. So now we're kind of watching for a bigger double bottom to take place, exactly as I have discussed in other videos. So this is a pretty common thing for markets to do. In fact, here is Bitcoin back in 2015 versus Theta. And here is Ethereum back in 2018 versus Theta. So you can see how the same thing has happened in both of these markets. The same exact psychology is what's happening with Theta right now. So from a chart perspective, we're really bottoming out in the bigger picture. We're preparing for some big moves and a lot of profit from here on out. Now, as you guys can see, I don't have my hat today. It's because I'm doing laundry, so I've got all these really relaxed clothes on. So we're just kind of taking it easy today, doing a chill video out here in the woods. My hat really does not look very good if I'm not wearing like jeans and a nice shirt. Well, this is a pretty nice shirt. This shirt works with my hat, but if I'm not wearing jeans, it looks a little ridiculous. So we're just going with a casual video today out here in the woods while I get my laundry done. Now, there's a lot of exciting things with the chart for Theta, which I've discussed in a lot of my previous videos. But today we're actually going to focus on fundamentals and talk a little bit about the fundamentals of Theta. Now, before we talk about fundamentals, as you guys know, I do not take trades based on fundamentals. I incorporate them into my analysis. I'm aware of them. I find them to be useful, but they are not the end-all be-all for my analysis. It's always been charts, and that's my main focus. But today, we are going to talk about some of the fundamentals with Theta because it has very strong fundamentals. And I believe that the fundamentals will be a catalyst to help carry this coin all the way to a new all-time high. And it really goes like milk and cookies with the charts and with the technical analysis. So we're going to go ahead and talk about fundamentals today and what are some of the strengths for Theta network and all of the coins associated with Theta network like Theta and T-Fuel today. So one of the things I really like about Theta is the T-Fuel and Theta dual token combination. So imagine you're the owner of an arcade and you create a token that allows people to have part ownership in the arcade. So if there's important decisions that need to be made, like a new arcade game getting added or another one getting removed, people can buy this token, this would be Theta, and make decisions in the arcade. They can vote and say, you know, we don't want this game anymore. It's not very fun. We do want this one though. And people can take part ownership in your arcade and help make decisions. So that's basically what Theta is. Now, T-Fuel would be like people coming to the arcade to play the games and to buy snacks and to immerse themselves in the actual arcade. In order to do that, they need some type of a token, right? That's what T-Fuel is. So T-Fuel is kind of like the gas inside of the actual network where you can use it to do things. And Theta itself is more like owning part of the Theta network to help make decisions and to be able to influence what happens to the arcade, right? So that's what I really like about Theta, is the dual token system that they've designed. Super cool. And I really appreciate the thought that they've put into this, because you can tell that they've really thought this through, and they've set up a system that is different than anything we've ever seen in crypto before. It's by far one of the best ways of handling the network. One of the problems with Ethereum is the fact that people didn't really have as much of a say on what happened as what people wanted to have. And I love Ethereum. I'm not like against Ethereum or anything. But when it came down to the DAO, when Ethereum first got hacked, it was basically just an executive decision from the top. And the people didn't have as much of an influence on what happened as what we would have liked to see. But Theta actually has a safeguard for that. And that's so cool to see that with the Theta tokens, you're able to own basically part of the Theta network and influence what happens. Super cool. So yeah, I really like this idea of dual token. Theta being like owning part of the arcade, and T-Fuel being like owning tokens in the actual arcade to buy snacks and play games and do stuff in the actual arcade itself. Super cool system. Really love the way that they have this whole Theta network designed. Now, the way the Theta network works, it's basically like a giant distributed computer. So you can run edge nodes. Everybody on the Theta network is able to provide a little bit of processing power and data storage to be able to make streaming possible, to be able to make a lot of different things possible. So when you're thinking of Theta and the Theta network, it's basically like a big distributed computer that everybody can take part in. Everybody can share a little bit of their processing power and get rewarded for it. It's a really cool idea. I love the idea of this distributed computer, and that's basically what the Theta network is a giant supercomputer that you can participate in through edge nodes and other ways. Now, another thing I really appreciate about the way that the Theta team has designed Theta is proof of stake. So instead of wasting a bunch of electricity and power to do proof of work, Theta has a really powerful and efficient proof of stake system that really allows Theta to do things that a lot of other blockchains just don't have the technology to do right now. Now, because Theta is like a big supercomputer, you can render video, you can render 3D models, you can do a lot of stuff that's way cheaper and faster than using centralized servers. So not only is it decentralized and distributed so that it's safer, more secure, but it's also more powerful, faster, and cheaper than using centralized servers. So it's just super, super powerful. A lot of people don't understand just how powerful the Theta network truly is. Are you bullish on Theta? Yeah? Yeah, me too. Oh, you're a cute little kitty, aren't you? Oh. You follow me everywhere I go, even when I'm trying to make YouTube videos. Now, something that's really exciting with Theta in 2025, Theta started working with Amazon's AI chips. So Amazon has these little chips that they've created, which are like super chips designed for AI type processing. And Theta's Edge Cloud is now working with Amazon and these little chips that they've made to really do a lot of cool things, a lot of things that were just impossible to do before. So that's a really big development this year for Theta and for the Theta Edge Cloud that I'm really excited about. The other thing a lot of people don't know about, Theta is partnered with universities, and they're using Theta to run their AI projects with very minimal costs to be able to basically research AI and do innovation in the world of AI for a very low cost on very fast servers. So this is something that Theta has done. They've partnered with universities basically to make it possible for innovation and development in the world of AI. Theta also partnered with the institutional side of crypto.com, so big businesses and institutions can store massive amounts of Theta tokens safely on crypto.com. As far as 2025 goes, and even the previous years too, we've started to see some very exciting things happening here on the Theta network. Now, some people say Theta isn't doing enough marketing. They haven't been talking or advertising their stuff very much, but actually that's something I really like about Theta. They've been kind of just developing and working without needing to tell everybody what they're doing. So they're making a lot of progress without having to show people. It's not about other people seeing, it's about actual innovation happening. And they do marketing, and they do have a strong team. And I personally believe that their efforts in developing their chain, instead of just trying to market, because you see so many other cryptos that spend all of their money on marketing and no money on actual innovation. I believe that Theta over the long term will see a lot of growth because they spent time and money to actually develop their chain before just making a pretty website and trying to convince everybody to give them their money, which a lot of cryptos are doing. A lot of cryptos are just, hey, give us your money. Here's a pretty website. We spent $1 million on marketing and we have no product. And you see a lot of coins get released and then dump and pretty much never recover, or it takes a long time for them to recover because of this exact reason. So, well, in the short term, as a holder of Theta, it may have been frustrating to not see as much marketing as you would have liked to see. Over the long term, I believe this will actually be one of the biggest things that leads Theta to the moon, because they've spent a lot of time actually developing their coin, actually partnering with important people and companies. And I believe it's going to lead to a lot of growth and a lot of parabolic movement from here. And I do see them amping up their marketing right now and in the future. If you feel like Theta hasn't been doing enough marketing, understand that they have been working on the actual project. So they're not just selling a scam, they're building a real coin that's really doing what they said they were going to do. And that's going to lead to plenty of money for marketing. That's going to lead to a very, very powerful marketing team. And I do believe that we will see that with Theta. The other thing that I really appreciate about Theta is just how strong their community really is. If you go anywhere online and you start talking about Theta, you're going to find the Theta community very quickly. They're going to be very supportive, very helpful, show you new things that you've never seen. They have a very powerful community, a lot of really cool people that are driven towards innovation, that want to see your success and want to help you understand what Theta is. And that, I believe, is one of Theta's biggest assets, because a strong community really will drive the price of Theta to the moon, especially since Theta has been spending so much time on actually developing their blockchain instead of just trying to look pretty. And they do look really good too. If you've looked at their website, they do good marketing and they do have really good designs, but they've spent a lot of time actually developing their chain. And all of this leads me to believe that Theta is one of the biggest sleeping giants in the entire crypto market, and it will lead to one of the most parabolic, biggest percentage gains for this cycle. And I believe it's going to be one of the most vertical and profitable coins to hold as we start to progress in this bull market. So that's my view on Theta. Here's one more chart, kind of in the bigger picture, showing just how parabolic Theta could really go. Obviously, nobody knows how high it's going to go, how long it's going to go up. Nobody knows exactly, but you can get an estimation. This is a chart that I've made to show just how high Theta could potentially go. It could go anywhere from $50 to $260 before its next major bear market. And the smartest thing to do, since nobody knows when it's going to top out, is to scale out and keep some in the market long term. If you're concerned about not hitting the exact top and selling all of it at the right spot, don't worry. Nobody knows when the top is going to be. So you scale out when the market is going parabolic, and then you keep a moon bag in just in case it gets mass adopted by the public and just keeps going up for a really long time, like we saw with big internet companies or computer companies. After the internet bubble popped, everybody panic sold, but then it got mass adopted by the public, and companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, they went parabolic and just kept growing and growing because the technology and the companies and the websites were mass adopted by the public. That's what I see coming for crypto. Theta is definitely on my watch list for being one of those coins that could be another Apple or Microsoft or Amazon in terms of mass adoption and being actually used by the public. So that's why you scale out, but you keep a long-term bag in, like at least 25% of your original position, so you can ride that growth and that mass adoption that could happen for Theta. So yeah, that's my video on Theta. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.